Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I am beyond thrilled to bring you this episode today. I am recording it with one of my dear friends, Becky Rea. She is a farm mom, but also a total badass. This woman runs races like for breakfast, and then she gets home and she's weaning pigs and she's going to work to take care of her kids. And she's so humble about all of it, but she is absolutely inspiring. She's full of knowledge, especially in the sport of long distance running. And I cannot wait to have her on here and tell you a little bit about her goals, her mindset, how she manages her time, how she manages her training, and everything in between. So, gear in to get all kinds of amazing inspiration and tips and everything else along the way. So, welcome, you guys. This is my dear friend, Miss Becky, that I was just telling you about, but I'm going to let her introduce herself. I mind you, she's going to be extremely humble about things, so don't mind me as I pick on her about it. But please feel free to introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And yeah, that kind of stuff.
Great. Well, thanks for having me on. A little background. I grew up in Northeast Iowa on my family's farm. Went to school for dairy science, met my husband, moved even deeper into Northeast Iowa, where we currently farm hogs and beef. And then I also work full-time off the farm at our local extension office. And in my spare time, I like to run and do a lot of running.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I knew that you worked off the farm, but I didn't realize that you worked full time at the extension office. That's pretty amazing with all the things
Yes,
you do. Awesome. And two kids, three kids. I can't remember.
three kids. Yes,
Three.
sorry, I left them off. Three kids.
Okay. And age spans on them?
They are 5, 8, and 11.
5, 8, and 11. Oh my God. So you've got one in 4-H. The 8-year-old probably shows open though, right?
He does Clover Kids.
He does Clover Kids. Yep. Good old Clover Kids.
Yep.
And then is the 5-year-old doing Clover Kids yet?
Not this year. He's actually taking a gap year before kindergarten. So
Oh,
he is living his best life on the farm full time.
that is exactly what I want to. I want his life. I want to do that too. That's awesome. And
He, he's
yeah,
having a pretty good year.
oh, I love it. Okay, and then your daughter is the 11-year-old, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, and
Yep.
is she doing heifers or steers this year or lambs? I thought I saw all of it.
Last year we did goats, swine, and market steers.
Okay.
This year it's probably just the steers and goats.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, those pigs, I swear, I raised pigs too, and I was in 4-H, and it was like they're the most difficult ones to make it through. So,
Oh, well, we have a hog barn. So we weigh in and then they just get put out with the rest of them until the day before fair.
it's perfect.
So
Hey,
you know how you have like always that one pig that like gets in the show ring and takes off to the other end?
yes,
Like we were waiting for that moment
that
with
is
my
you.
daughter.
You have the barker.
We do.
It finds the corner and it stays there forever. Oh, fun. You're gonna have a great time, Mom. It's gonna go great. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I mean, we could talk farming all day for sure, but I definitely want to talk about you because, it's so easy for us to talk about our husbands and the farms and the kids and the animals, but I want to talk about you because I feel like we don't really zero in on ourselves enough as it is. So I want to spotlight you today. And I think the first thing I really want to ask is so many people, right, despise running. What made you choose that as your go-to?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was a runner growing up. I mean, I played sports in middle school and high school, but running wasn't like, oh my God, I love to run. I want to do cross country and track by any means. I really enjoyed group sports when I was in high school. I didn't like the nerves or the pressure of individual sports. And then during like college and afterwards, like I kind of ran with friends here and there, maybe did a 5K a year, nothing major. And
Mhm.
then I had my daughter, and like you said, it's hard to focus on ourselves. And with my husband farming, he was at home just to take her so I could have time for myself. And there was a group in town starting a couch to 5K program.
Okay.
And luckily, my husband actually kind of pushed me to do it because I just needed that set time that I had to find a sitter for my daughter and had that time to go and run, be with friends, focus on myself. And so doing that, I met a friend, and one day she was like, "Hey, do you want to run a half marathon?" And my mentality about a lot of things is like, why not? So we, instead of going from couch to 5K, we went couch to half marathon. And so I never ran more than 3 miles in my life. And then when I got pregnant, I stopped running because, you're tired and you're pregnant. And so basically in a 3 months time, we worked up to a half marathon and I ran one 6 months postpartum with my daughter, which was
That,
very hard.
yes, that's flipping amazing, Becky. I didn't realize that that's how you
I
got into it. I thought you were like cross country star in high school.
no, no, and I hated my first half marathon. I hated it. I said I would never run one ever again. Like I was done, one and done.
Okay, so what changed your mind afterwards?
Um, I can't remember if I ran two after my daughter or just one. But then I got pregnant with my son and I was like, well, I want to do one more again. Like I did one after my daughter, I'm going to do one after my next kid. And I'd kind of gotten into running more. We had a group of friends that ran and then it just took off. I don't know. Like it got to a point where half marathons kind of became easy.
Mhm.
Like I'm not super fast by any means, but you know how like you sign up for something at first and it's so nerve-wracking and the time you put in and then you just keep doing it and it's like, okay, like I got this. Like what's the next thing?
Mhm.
And then that just kind of steamrolled over the next few years.
Into where I found you because when we met, right, like met, you were already into running at that point, I believe.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
oh yeah, duh, of course you were. So, I mean, I just think it's pretty amazing. Like just like me, I didn't find fitness until after kids either, and here you are, like 3 months postpartum running a half, and you don't like to run, and I'm like, wow, I didn't realize this about you. So like, just let's shout that out here for a second. If you're listening to this and you are like, you don't feel overly excited to work out or do something hard or to change something, you feel like it's too late, or you're in your 30s and you're a mom and whatever, you can do really hard things moving forward. So please just understand that. Okay, so the next question, this is going to blow people away because I remember when I saw you talk about it after the fact. What's the longest race you've ever ran to date?
My longest race was a 100 miler.
100
My
miles.
watch clocked in at 102.5.
Jesus Christ. Okay,
You
so how
know.
long did it take you to run that?
My goal was sub 24 hours.
Mhm.
When you get into the ultra world, doing a 100 mile, if you go sub 24, like that's usually what you say. So that was kind of my goal, was to get under that. And I had a running coach and he had all the faith in me and saw no problem in doing that, which it was hard. It was
Yes,
very, very hard. But yeah, I did come in and I think it was 23 and a half hours.
that is incredible. So did you stop and sleep at all during that, or did you literally run the entire time?
I ran, walked, and shuffled.
And I feel like that's
That's
fair.
it.
I would have probably just cried a lot. Um, and that was last
Yeah.
summer, right?
Yep, that was last October.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, so 100 miles, right? And here I am like, woo, I ran three. Like, I think it's just really amazing what you can accomplish if you decide that you want to accomplish it. Um, and so I know that you've put that kind of on the back burner. You're wanting to really focus in on your kids now, but do you plan to pick up more like 50 milers, 100 milers moving forward? Or is it kind of like a one and done? I'm going to just eat marathons for breakfast now.
Yeah, the latter. So when I've been training, I did progress through all the race distances. So I went from a marathon to a 50K, 50 miler, 100K, 100 miler. And when I was training for that 100K, which is like what, 63 miles, um, it did take a lot of training time to get that done. And the summers aren't too bad with my kids home, but during the school year, I try to do my long runs on Fridays. And then when they're back in school, like I'm trying to get home to make sure they're on the bus and ready to go. And now they're in like park and rec sports. So then races on the weekends, I'm away and I'm not there to take them or watch them at their sports.
Mhm,
And so I kind of decided to go for the 100 miler. Like I felt like I was in shape, I had the momentum, but also kind of get it done.
mhm.
And I told my husband, which I don't think he believed me, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this 100 miler and then I'm going to back off. like to be around home more, to be around the kids. They're getting busier. I want to go to all their events on the weekends. So I think that marathon 50K is kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, which is still massively respectable, right? I think it's amazing. And I gotta say, like, I'm incredibly proud too, because we've been working together for a number of years now. And I'm by no means your running coach, but I'm always your biggest cheerleader, especially in your off seasons. And um, I think that it's amazing that you've been able to have the momentum to be so dialed in to accomplish such a massive thing, but also have the respect for yourself to pull back after accomplishing it instead of always needing more. Like, so many people struggle to
It
have that satisfaction with themselves, and you did it. It's amazing.
it's hard though. I will say, like, I've been a little lost the last few months because I'm like, hey, yeah, like what's next?
Right.
Because every year, like I've had another goal and something bigger and better per se. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a limbo time for me.
For sure. And you said bigger and better, but then I almost like, because I've gone through the same thing of having to back off in my own way. And it's always hard because you're like, you're not chasing something that's necessarily hard in everyone else's eyes. But the hardest thing that you're probably accomplishing right now is the fact that you're pulling back and you're accomplishing that. Like, that doesn't get respected near enough, and it should. So kudos from one to another.
Well,
Um,
thanks.
Amazing. I do have to talk about the mentality. Like, I know that I sent you these questions ahead of time because I was literally like, I've got to ask her this. Because like, um, what is the hardest training day you've had to date? Like, because I've seen your pictures come through and you've got frozen icicles coming out of your nose. It's like 4 a.m. and you just ran a marathon, and now you're getting your kids onto the bus ready for school. Like, tell me about your personal hardest training day. Was it cold? Was it summer? Was it like a time restriction? What's your hardest training day?
I had to think about this one because there's not one specific day that sticks out in my mind. I literally have ran in everything from wind chill warnings to wind advisory, heat warnings, poor air quality, when the Canada had the wildfires. So I ran in everything. I think like the physically hard runs are in the summer when it's 100 degrees and I do a workout run where I'm pushing myself really hard and it's hot and it's hills, and I get done and just want to collapse on the ground.
Mhm,
I will look at my training plan and I'm like, oh, like that's not so bad. And then you get out there doing it and you're like, oh yeah, that just kicked my butt.
mhm. Yes.
And then I think mentally the hard runs though are my long runs because like, you just want to be done. Nobody wants to get up and run 30 miles in the morning. And so sometimes just pushing through when you run past your car or your house and you're like, oh, I could just stop right now and go home.
I could be done. But you're not. I mean,
No.
you don't have the type of mentality to stop. I mean, did you ever stop a run early for any reason, or did you push through every single one?
Yep, I've never cut one short.
You are just amazing. Like, and mind you, you did most of your runs before the kids even got on the school bus in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, early
So
mornings, I've been my friend. I try to have running take up the least amount of time during the day that I can. So yeah, getting up and a lot of days I'm home before my kids are even out of bed. Like they have no idea I even ran.
yeah.
Or if I can knock out those long runs and still be home to get to work or help on the farm, like that's great.
Oh my God, it's amazing. So like you guys, she's literally running marathons before most people get out of bed.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing, Beck. Like it's amazing. And you should be less humble about it, but I know you won't be, but I'm going to cheer for you right now. So you
Well,
just
thank you.
deal with that. But like, I just think that's incredible. Like, so I mean, the next, piece of that is how do you manage your time with these training sessions, right? Doing them, having a job, working on the farm, and like you're always with your kids. You're always at all their things. I always see pictures of you with them taking care of things. I see you weaning pigs and pulling pigs. How do you keep it all straight and not lose your mind?
Um, yeah, I don't have it all together. Not at all. There's there's no such thing as balance. No. Yeah, 100% early mornings. 100%. My friend. I mean, there's some days where my husband's like, "Why are you running so early? Like you have the day off." But then I get done running and I go help him do something. I'm like, "Well, this is why I went early. Because now you need help in the hog barn or you need help working cattle." I'm like, "I'm here. Like I can do it."
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Early bedtimes. I think you like early bedtimes too. Like,
I very much so.
yeah. Give me
So
all the sleep.
yeah, so okay, obviously recovery. Recovery. But okay, so along with that, like what time are you going to bed? I mean, you have kids, you have an 11-year-old, they have sports, they have animals. It's not like you can go to bed at like 6 p.m. What time are you going to bed? What time are you getting up?
Um, I usually like 9 o'clock. It's
Okay.
a lot easier like in the winter when it's dark out and there's nothing going on. You know,
Yes.
summer's hard, it's light out, kids want to be outside on the farm.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love to get 8 hours of sleep if I can.
Yes.
My early mornings though, like I'm definitely not getting that much sleep. I mean, 3 a.m. for a long run is very normal. There were
Mhm.
days I was running before 3 a.m. to get those runs done and get home. So
Yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah.
it sounds nuts.
Well, I mean, it sounds nuts. I don't think it's nuts because I understand it, but there's gonna be other people that listen to this and be like, girl crazy. But like
Yeah,
you do
a
what
little
you
bit.
have to do, right? And we talk all the time. If you want to get something done, you have to figure out where in your puzzle pieces can you make it fit. And if it's important to you, you'll make it work. Now, do I agree with sacrificing your sleep forever? No, but you've also pulled back on your massive training. So do you still do 3 a.m. mornings all the time, or is it more of like a 4:30, 5 o'clock morning?
Yeah, if we start running at 5, we're like, yay, we got to sleep in today. Um,
Exactly.
I got to pull back a little bit on the early mornings. Like I like to do my long run on Friday, so that's typically my earliest morning.
Yeah.
And for a while there, we could wait until 4:30 to run.
Yeah.
Now my work schedule has gotten a little crazy, so we'll be back to like 3 a.m.s for the next month or so to get them
Yeah.
done.
Well, you guys are probably, I don't know, extension office. Are you taking care of like fair registrations and weigh-ins and all of that stuff?
Yeah, not quite there for all of that, but I host a field trip at our community college. It's called the Iowa's Dairy Story.
Oh, fun.
So youth in Northeast Iowa come and get to see like a working dairy farm and just learn different things about the dairy industry,
Mhm.
which I absolutely love. So a lot of my field trips are on Fridays that I coordinate.
That is fantastic. I love that. Okay, so you do multiple field trips about this. That is awesome.
Yes.
So, yay dairy industry, drink milk, all the things. Eat the ice cream, y'all. Like, please, if you're gonna enjoy some treats, have it be ice cream because yes, so good. Um, no, that's amazing. Like, I love that you can that you can be honest that you don't always have it all together.
Oh,
But you also never cut anything short. And I think that that's admirable because there is nobody that's going to be out there except for the raccoon that watched you run by 14 times and that's going to know whether or not you cut that corner short and you didn't because then you only cut it short for yourself. Um, what is the craziest thing you've run into? Like I go out for early morning walks and jogs or like walk sprints kind of thing, and I run into possums, deer, raccoons. Like, what are you running into out there?
okay, so I will tell you the craziest thing I found at like 3, 4 a.m. is another person.
No, I would have been like,
Like another runner. When
was
we
it Mark?
Yeah, it was. Yes. So me and my friend Amanda run together, and all of a sudden, it was like a couple years ago, we randomly started seeing another runner, and it's like, okay, like who was the other crazy person in our town? You know, 'cause like you don't
Yeah.
see people out and about.
Well, it's a small town too, you know?
So yeah. And
Oh,
then
that's
that
funny.
friendship blossomed. Then we got to know who he was, and
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, and he was one of your running, and I'm gonna say it wrong, one of your running partners during your 100
he
miler.
was one of my crew and pacers for my 100
Okay, there
miles.
we go, Pacers.
Yep.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Love that you introduced me to him. But that's funny. I will say, like, my ears are on like extra when I'm out in the middle of the night because there's no human that's gonna wait in the trees and want to jump me out here, right? Because it's boring. It's not gonna be an opportunity. But
Yeah.
like, what is in these trees right now?
Or when you see like eyeballs in your headlamp, and you're
Oh
like,
my
okay.
God. Exactly, yeah, and then you see the car drive by, and I'm like, "Ooh, I probably shouldn't have worn all black today." I'm on the trail at least, but you're probably on the road.
Oh yeah, we are 100% high vis. Like I
Yeah,
have leggings that are reflective, the vest, headlamps, like you
everything.
name it, we buy it.
Yeah, because 'cause you're running on gravel, right?
Gravel and highway.
Gravel and highway, yeah,
Yep.
so but I mean, you say highway, it's small town Iowa highway, how many cars are you seeing at 4 AM? Probably not that many.
Not a whole lot, but I have noticed people actually don't really get over for you. That's
Oh,
kind of
no.
our biggest thing. Like
Mhm.
people are on their phones, they're not paying attention. So yeah, we definitely have to be on high alert when we're out there.
Most definitely. Please be safe, to say the least. I didn't know that you had a running partner in that. Do you run with her every morning?
No, so my friend Amanda, we
Yeah.
run quite a bit together regularly, but I think 1 to 2 days a week. And we do our long runs together.
Oh, that's so nice to know. And that's gotta be nice too, because do you try and train at a pace where you can have a conversation or no?
Oh, 100%.
Okay,
It,
okay. The
it might have
majority
taken
of
me
your runs.
years to
Okay.
learn that, but yeah, your everyday run pace should be like 2 minutes slower than like your race pace.
Okay, okay, so race pace is faster, because
Yep.
I've really been working on that because you always yell at me. So I work on that all the time. I love that. Okay. I do also have to throw in, this is like the perfect opportunity to turn in. So Becky does running coaching, and I want her to talk about it because how do they find you? What do you do with it? And how do you help them? And all of that.
Yeah, so what, a year ago now, I did get my run certification for marathons and under through the United Endurance Sports Coaching Academy. A really long word. So yeah, I just do it on the side, nothing major. I don't know, I just got to a point that like, I know things you should do when you run, but I didn't always have the why behind it. So like when my friends would ask me for advice, like I could tell them, but then I felt like I needed more information to like back up what I was telling them.
Mhm.
So I did get my certification, which was really exciting and nerve-wracking. It was this like, I don't even know, 500 question test at the end or something. It was crazy. It was, I'm just like, oh my gosh, just please pass. So I don't have to do it
I'm sure.
again.
But you
Yeah, I
passed.
coached a handful of people. Most of it has been word of mouth of people like you talking me up and recommending me for their coaching. I coached a few friends. I'm pretty laid back in my coaching, I would say. Like, I just want you to be consistent and like hit those runs, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
A lot of it's just kind of pushing people past their comfort zone. And it's
definitely.
really rewarding when somebody hits like a new mileage, like PR. Like a
Yeah.
friend right now, her longest runs have been half marathons, and we just hit 14 miles last week, which was huge. Like mentally, just getting past that was amazing. So super excited to see what she does. I will say I'm not nutrition certified. I am horrible at fueling myself for runs.
This is where I come in.
So then I send them somewhere else for that part.
That's fair. So if they do want to get a hold of you, what's the easiest way if somebody's listening to this and they say, I want Becky to coach me?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
You can just
So
hunt
just
me
put
down
like your
however.
regular stuff in there because I'll have my people put your handle in there and stuff so they can just
Yeah,
reach out via messages and stuff. Perfect.
yep.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I know I've sent a number of people to you because I know how to tell people how to deadlift, right? And I can tell you what to eat. But as far as like running goals, I always send them to Becky. So yes, I love that. Okay, so next question. And this one I think is really helpful. It's the last one I sent you yesterday, but how like obviously your husband is incredibly supportive. That's been very apparent throughout the entire thing. He even pushed you into the couch to 5K thing. So, what is the reaction to you like him and your kids? The reaction to you not only accomplishing these things but managing your time the way that you do, maybe being away here and there for certain things. Like what's the reaction? What's their support like? Has there been hard days with it?
Well, my husband definitely thinks I'm crazy, like for sure. I think over time he's just learned to go with it. Let me do my thing because I'm gonna do it anyway. With us farming, he doesn't come to races. I think he's been to two ever, and they weren't 100% by his choice. But he has been good as far as like, those early mornings and early bedtimes. Sometimes he rolls his eyes, but he's good with it. And getting into these longer distances, like you said, I don't talk about it much, but he would be the one telling our friends, like,
Oh,
oh yeah, ask her what she's training for, how far she's gonna run now. So like
mhm.
I know like he's proud of me like when he's telling people about it.
Yeah.
And then there's a race, I think it was my 100K. I got home like, I don't know, like 1 a.m. in the morning. And he had the kids make me cards, like congratulations, mom's cards. And like my one son drew a picture of a few people. And he's like, Mom, that's you. Like beating everybody else.
Oh,
Well, not really how that went, but it was just really sweet to walk in to see that.
that's
I
amazing.
don't talk to my kids a whole lot about like my distances that I run. And so it was really funny. I don't know if I ever told them I was running 100 milers, but when I went to conferences, the teacher was like, "Oh yeah, like they told me you're gonna run 100 miles." And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." Like, "Oh, we didn't think he was like telling the truth." And I was like, "No, I really did run 100 miles."
In one day, mind you.
So yeah, the kids must talk about it a little bit.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the kids' cards are the best. I have them hanging everywhere, like for everything. I love that and that they had those cards made for you and that they talk you up at school.
Yeah,
That's always the best. And then the teachers are like, "Oh, oh, they were right. Okay."
I know. Like I totally got that reaction. I'm like, "Yeah."
I love it. Oh, okay, so it's kind of a random question, but shoe wear, obviously very important. I'm
Mhm,
definitely people are gonna wanna know what your recommended brand is. I know it depends, everybody's a different, like, preference.
mhm.
And then super curious, how many pairs of shoes do you go through in a dang year?
Oh my gosh. So I wear Asics. That's my Asic Nimbus is my go-to. I have tried different brands over the years, and I don't know. I just always go back to my Asics. Like you said, everybody's different. You gotta find what works for you.
Mhm,
Like Hoka's are really good for long distance and being on your feet a lot. But yeah, just personal preference. I do about 400 miles on my shoes before I rotate them out.
mhm.
So during my high mileage months, yeah, I was going through shoes like every 2 months.
That's
I was
so
hitting, 200 or so miles.
oof, you have a lot
Yeah.
of short shoes, so that's great.
Yeah. A lot.
Because that's where running shoes go to die.
Yep.
They go out to do chores.
Oh, yeah.
We get the money out of everything on a farm. Um, okay, so that's super, super helpful because there's people that ask me what kind of shoes they should wear for running, and I'm like, I'm not your girl. I don't know. And so I'm glad that you put in at least your 2 cents on that. That's really helpful.
Yeah.
Um,
You can go to, I feel like maybe like if you go to a shoe specific store, not just like a general running store, like a running shoe specific, athletic shoe specific store, they'll probably have a treadmill where they can actually like video you running and tell you like if you need a neutral shoe or like how your ankles like pronate when you step down, and then they can recommend specific shoes that would like fit your foot and like your stride.
Oh, that's awesome to know. Okay, so go to a running store, and have them give you the suggestion, and don't worry about the dang color of the shoe they suggest, because if you get the wrong kind of shoe and it doesn't
Right.
work for your stride, you're going to get injured for sure. So, have you
Yep.
ever been injured? Have you ever struggled through injury?
I luckily have not.
That's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, knock on wood.
Yes, I mean, and I'm not gonna jinx you at all. I mean, you've already accomplished the big things, right?
Yes,
So the fact that you made it through all of that without injury is incredible. And I
it
do
is.
have to say, you guys, she said that she sucks at fueling herself. Maybe before runs, not so great, but she's really great at fueling and building between running training sessions. We work together on strength training, on food intake. So I'm going to pat you on the back for that because there's a lot of runners that don't do that. And I think that that's a huge piece of why you haven't been injured because you do take
Mhm.
care of yourself so well in the off season. So there's that. Um, okay, here's like the biggest thing that amazes me about you. After your 24-hour race, your 100 miles, you were back in the barn, I think power washing a hog barn within 24 hours, weren't you?
I went back to work the next day. That might have been a different
Oh, okay.
race.
You're crazy. Okay. So, no, go ahead.
No, I know I did. Oh, yeah, there's a 50K bucket race I wanted to do last summer. And it's in June. It was hot. It was I think a 1 p.m. start. So like mentally for me, like that was very hard to start in the afternoon, heat of the day. And I remember texting my husband through it and I'm like, oh my gosh, like my fueling was off. It was horrible. Like I just wasn't feeling it. And he texts me back and he's like, well, you have to process pigs tomorrow. Like, who else can say that out there? That's not getting me to the finish line any faster.
Oh my God. So wait, you went back to work at the extension office the next day after you ran the 100 miles. So like you got home at 1 a.m. and you slept until Tell me 6.
Okay, so my 100 miler, we got home like in the afternoon, I think, from that one. But
Okay.
yeah, I had intended to take a day off work, but that week was just insane and I had programming every day and I just couldn't. So yeah, I did go in for a few hours. It was rough,
You're
to say
insane.
the least.
I mean, how do you even accomplish that kind of mentality to be like, okay, I'm going to run the 50 miles and tomorrow I'm going to process pigs? Like most people would have to recover for a week after that.
I just feel like it's not a choice. Like it's our lifestyle. Like
Mhm.
this is just what we do. And I guess I know that, so I don't question it. Like we
Exactly.
farm, there's work to be done. It doesn't matter if I'm tired or if I just ran 30 miles. Like
Right.
animals still need to be taken care of.
Exactly.
And
And
honestly, I think that helps me not be sore because I'm constantly on the move and I don't get to go home and like sit on my butt for the rest of the day.
exactly. And I think that that's a huge piece to hit home. Like farm life is like a special kind of breed. And I know and I'm not just farm life. There's a lot of people outside of the farming industry that have the same kind of mentality. So I don't want to just trigger into that, but it is something where like you do have the livestock that needs to get taken care of regardless. And I know darn well that you are not going to be selfish and say, well, I ran so far yesterday, I need to take a break because that's not
Mhm.
in your mind because you chose to run that. Those
Mhm.
animals didn't choose to be born. So you have to take care of them. So I know that's in your head. And I just think that it's amazing and a true testament to who you are. So, like, you can do the hard things.
Thanks.
You can turn around and still live life afterwards and do the things you're supposed to do for your responsibilities. So,
Mhm.
pretty amazing. Um, I know that we kind of talked about this earlier, that you don't really know what the next big goal is. So, like, do you have a bigger aspiration at some point when the kids are older? Have you thought through that? Or are we just going to try and see where life takes us?
So I absolutely love running ultras. The racing is just completely different from a road race or like a 5K. It's so much more laid back. It's, I don't want to say more supportive, but if you're running an ultra, you're probably not trying to PR BQ. You know, you get to a road race and people are pretty serious. And the aid station workers at ultras have absolutely saved my ass on multiple times or multiple occasions. And so I would love to go back and either work aid stations at races or even be a pacer and be out there helping somebody else. You know, I got into my run coaching, and like I said, I am coaching a friend right now to her first full, but we're going out of the carload. And so I'm excited to not only coach her, but like I'm going to run it with her. And so to see her accomplish that goal that she's not quite so sure that she can get to, but like we're going to get her there and we're going to be with her every step of the way. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I love that. So it's like passing on the wisdom and the experience is almost the next big goal.
And the pain.
And the pain. That's never easy. Never easy. I mean, even right now, you've even told me a million times. So I want you to tell everybody else what sucks most. The first 2 to 3 miles always suck most. That's what you tell me.
And then once you get into it, you're usually good.
Yeah, it's like you just gotta get the creeks out and then you're good to go.
Mhm.
Oh man, I love that. Um, well, the last question that I have is a question that I ask everybody at the end of podcasts, and it's really just an opinion one, and it's if someone is listening and they are struggling, they connect with you for some reason, on some level, and they're struggling to figure out how to get to this next thing, or they just feel stuck. What can you tell them? What is your best piece of advice for somebody?
Well, you got to find that goal or the end motivator. Um, you know, they always say discipline over motivation, and that is 100% true. Like, I am never motivated to get up at 3 a.m. I am never motivated to go run 26 or 30 miles in the morning ever. And when I tell my friends that, they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, like, I don't want to do that. But I've always had a goal that I wanted to accomplish, and that always overrides what I don't want to do.
Mhm,
So I think if you have the end goal and you really want to accomplish it, like you'll find a way.
mhm.
And sometimes, yeah, you have that bitch voice that you just need to tell to shut up and get on with it.
Yes. Oh, It's the best. It's the best piece of advice. I love that so much, Beck. Thank you so much for being on here. I seriously appreciate it. And I am positive that there's going to be a ton of people that benefit from listening to you today. So thank you.
Oh, thanks. I hope so. I mean, running's hard. It can be painful. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but it can be really rewarding. Just the friendships I've made, the community, the race community, like there's some really good stuff you can find through the pain.
Absolutely. I mean, there is always beauty after pain. I absolutely agree with
Yes.
that. So awesome. All right, lady. Well, I can let you get back to your busyness. Thank you for taking this hour with me and just have a beautiful day.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, Beck.
See ya.